Good afternoon, I'm Annabelle Regan with 2NURFM Hunter News. The Premier has toured flood-affected areas in the Hunter today to announce further assistance for storm-affected primary producers. Hunter farmers still suffering from the April storms are eligible for clean-up and recovery grants of up to $15,000. The funding will assist farmers such as Woodfield dairy farmer David Vollmer, who can now cover costs to feed his 300 head of cattle after sustaining $250,000 in damages from the floods. Mike Baird says the funding will help get farmers back on their feet.
$15,000 will go towards things such as fencing, equipment, supplies, some capacity to reseed and get the pastoral lands up and running again. So that was always the intent.
Meanwhile, Patterson MP Bob Baldwin says this has been good news for the farmers who have been hard hit.
It was a terrible time, the flood that came through in April. It was a time when crops were killed, when there were no means to be able to replant to catch all of their feed for their animals. They've needed support. Fencing is down. This is the right funding at the right time will be delivered to our farming community.
3 people have been arrested following a high-speed pursuit over the weekend. Police attempted to stop a white Hyundai at Wharf Road on Sunday night. The pursuit was called off due to safety concerns before the car was spotted again in Wallsend. The car fled down the M1 to Toronto, where the chase was terminated for a second time. Sergeant Dave Rose says the car was found abandoned and arrests were made a short time later.
Police dog attended the location and found 3 people in bushland nearby. They were arrested and taken to Toronto Police Station before they were released pending further inquiries.
The Minerals Council says demand for Hunter coal has remained strong over the current financial year, with exports to key Asian markets growing. New figures show coal exports from New South Wales to India have doubled to 7.7 million tonnes over a 9-month period to the 31st of March this year. The increased demand could indicate greater investment and more jobs across the Hunter's coal mining industry. $35 million has been granted to property development in the main street of Belmont. The Bell apartment projects include space for residential, commercial and retail developments, which is expected to be a boost to the town's economy. Lake Macquarie Mayor Jody Harrison says the community has positively received the news of the development.
I've certainly not heard any negative comment about what the building will look like, and certainly had a lot of good feedback from people saying that it's good to see Belmont going ahead.
Sport for our sponsor, NewcastleCheapestCars.com.au.
Joey Leilua has been officially released from his contract with the Knights ahead of an anticipated move to Canberra. While the 23-year-old is tipped to join the Raiders, there is no certainty as to who will be replacing him at the club. Without naming names, the Knights have indicated they will be looking for a forward, with the current backline more than capable of covering the loss of Leilua. South Cardiff have dropped to the bottom of the Northern New South Wales Premier League soccer ladder after losing 4-0 to fellow cellar dwellers Maitland. In other games, Hamilton Olympic defeated Broadmeadow 2-0, Adamstown beat Western 2-1, Lambton beat Jets Youth 3-2 and Edgeworth won 2-1 over Charlestown. And the Big Blast Indoor Cricket Premier League came to Newcastle for the first time on Saturday. The Newcastle Steel lost their home opener against the Castle Hill Cougars, but fought back to win 75-58 over the St Mary's Vipers. That's sport. I'm Georgia Lupton.
2NURFM news time is 12:10.